And 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Amal, and joining me tonight I have Andy, Carl, George, and Mus, and we are the Monday Blues. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Good.
Well,
Wary.
Excited.
Why did we all just say one word? That was not planned, by the way.
Yeah.
That was awkward.
Yeah, no.
Let's just get straight into it, boys, because Carlton's playing the West Coast Eagles this weekend. It's round 19. We're versing the Eagles on Saturday, the 22nd of July, 2023 at 2:10 p.m. at Marvel Stadium. And, with 4 wins off the trot, it's pretty bloody good being a Blues supporter at the moment. How's the week been for you boys? George?
Mate, 4 wins in a row. You know, the air's fresher, water's cleaner, food tastes nicer, the grass is greener. You know, can't ask for much more than that while we're winning. The world turns upside down when we lose, yes, but let's enjoy it while it's there.
Morse, how you feeling? How's your week been?
Absolutely concur. It has been a blessing. I've been getting up early, training, working long hours, but it's been very positive. Even when things have gone south in other areas of life, Carlton's winning. So it does not matter.
It's a beauty. It's the beauty of being a Baggers supporter. 4 wins off the trot. Carl, how's your week been?
Very good. But back to what George said, the grass is green. I hope my grass stays dead. I hate cutting my grass. But it's good, you know. 4 wins, excited. Pumped, I guess. Looking forward to this week.
Andy?
I'm doing a lot better than Carl's grass. I'm good, man. I'm good. Feeling good. We're doing all right. Big game coming up. Like, I'm not, we should win, but you don't want to be taking things too easy, but yeah, we'll get there.
No, exactly right. So without further ado, we'll jump straight into the team lineups. Outs for Carlton: Adam Cerra, Harry Mackay, Paddy Cripps, all listed as injured. Now we know obviously that Harry Mackay is going to be out for the remainder of the home and away season. Adam Cerra and Paddy Cripps have been labelled as injured, but probably they're just being rested for the game that is coming up next week against the Pies. And Jordan Boyd got a 3-match suspension following.
Joke.
Joke.
I forgot about that.
A rough tackle. Yeah, we challenged it, and unfortunately, it didn't amount to much. Now, coming in for Carlton is Ollie Hollins. Welcome addition. Good to have him back. Lockie Cowan. Both of them started the year off well. First-year players. Good on them for making their way back into the team, even though it's off the back of injuries. And your boy, Andy, Ed Curnow.
Grandpa.
Thoughts on that, Andy? How are you feeling about that?
I get why people will be upset by that, but I think with the outs we've got, Cripper and Cerra especially, having that mature big body, not even just in the midfield or whatever, just on the ground, another kind of wise head, could be really important because we're going to be fielding quite a smaller side, a younger side. So smaller, we're losing Cripps and Mackay. So yeah, I think just having that extra big body in the mid or around the ground, it's just going to help the other younger boys just get the ball a bit more. So I'm not as skeptical about Ed coming back in this week. I think if ever there was a time for Ed to come in, it was now. I feel for Binns. I feel like Binns was probably unlucky not to get a game, and even Marchbank, to be honest. But I'm sure we'll get to those. But yeah, I'm not too fussed about Ed missing out. Ed coming in.
George,
Agree. I think like as Andy mentioned, need a big body in the middle. Instead, just looking at the team sheet, I mean, the guy, I think, obviously trains the house down. Like he's always, like Voss always lauds his standards and endurance and everything he brings in at training. But looking at the team sheet, 3 of our starting mids are out, and like Cherra's a unit, Cripps is a big boy, Kennedy's a big boy. So that's 3 big midfielders that we're missing. Without Ed, I will say, if you don't include Ed, you've got all of a sudden you've got Dow, Hollins, Walsh, Hewitt as the only one that can give him a bit of a chop out. So you've got a thin midfield there. I think Akers will go to the lineup, but surely he plays through the middle this week. And I think hence why they've also brought Hollins in as well, to maybe rotate with the centre in the wing. But it reminded me of round 23 last year when we faced the Pies. From memory, it was Walsh, Kennedy, and Hewitt. We didn't have. Remember, we missed them for a bit of a portion of the last few rounds. I remember Kennedy and Hewitt more so. But yeah, Walsh was out for that game. So those 3, and we only lost to a point to a team that was the informed team of the competition, pretty much, right? So, yeah, and the club obviously rate Hollins very highly. So, he 5 or 6 weeks out from memory with that injury. He comes in for one VFL game, goes straight back into the squad. So obviously internally they laud him. I would have liked, like Andy said, I would have liked to see Binns get a debut, but then you think to next week, is he going to stay in the team next week? Do you want to give a player a debut and then drop him versus the Pies? So that might be just another thought process. I think that might have gone through Voss's head.
Yeah. Starting in the back line for Carlton, it is pretty much untouched from the last couple of weeks. Alex Cincotta, Jacob Woodring, Nick Newman, Brody Kemp, Mitch McGovern, and Adam Sard. They'll be defending against Andrew Gaff, Jack Darling, Elijah Hewitt, Ryan Marrick, Oscar Allen, and Jamie Cripps. Some big names in that forward line.
Some underperforming names.
Underperforming, yeah, for sure. But nevertheless, they're all big names that can
Capable.
That are capable. Exactly. That's the exact word that I was looking for. Capable. Very much capable. In the centre line for Carlton, Sam Walsh, Ollie Hollins, Sam Doherty. Following will be Tom DeConning, George Hewitt, and Blake Akers. And for the West Coast Eagles, Campbell Chesser, Luke Shuey, Jaden Hunt, and following for them, Bailey Williams, Dom Sheed, and Tim Kelly. Geez, you'd say on paper that they probably have a better list, a better midfield than us at the moment, given our injuries and given our outs. What do you think about that?
Yeah, look, I think they're very strong in the midfield. They've been very unlucky this year with a lot of injuries, a little bit of depth issues that they've had as well. But I think on paper, I still like Carlton. But it's not going to be an easy contest. And I think obviously we've been saying this for a while. The game's won or lost in the midfield. So those young and definitely the Ed Curnow, that's a good call out, Andy. I think that maturity, not the most skillful, but good footy brain and that maturity and that bigger body is definitely going to have a big impact. So I think we'll do okay. And I'm hoping they can start working together. I'm hoping Dal gets a good run. And we'll see how we go.
Forward line for Carlton, Jack Silvani, Charlie Curnow, David Cunningham, Lockie Fogarty, Jack Martin, and Jesse Motlop. And they'll be attacking against the backline of Liam Duggan, Shannon Hearn, Brady Hugh, Alex Witherden, Tom Barris, and Tom Cole. Realistically, we've probably only got the one proper, true key forward in Charlie Curnow. But the setup after Harry Mackay went down in our forward line worked pretty well. So I'm happy that they're not tinkering too much with the forward line, given the injuries and the team that we're versing and who we're coming up with against next week. It's good to see them try this forward line again against the Eagles in preparation for the Pies, Carl.
Yeah, I hate that word, Pies. Yeah, just back to last week. I don't think anyone was expecting Silvani to do what he did last week. We knew he was capable. But I think this week, look, I'm not worried about their backline, to be honest. I'm not really worried. The only one that probably is their main defender is Barris, but I reckon we'll grab him by the throat and put the Eagles on the floor and step on him. we should be sweet, boys.
There's question marks over him as well. Him and Allen this week.
Yeah, I've seen Allen Barris as well.
Yeah, I saw Barris.
I only seen Allen. I didn't see that one. So yeah, I think we should be sweet.
Now outs for the West Coast Eagles. Jeremy McGovern, Jeremy McGovern, and Ruben Gimby, and coming in for the Eagles, Jack Petruccelli. So they're adding a bit of pace to the team. He's so quick, Petruccelli. He's so quick. What do you guys think is going to happen? I'll tell you what I'm scared of us coming into the game a bit too relaxed.
Cocky.
Yeah.
We're
Cocky.
in no position. We're in no position to be cocky about things. Yeah. I know we have a laugh and, we throw a bit of banter out there, but we're in no position to be cocky or to be arrogant. We're very, very gettable. We've shown that over the last 2 months, and we're also very capable. So as long as we, continue and persist with the system we're using, then I think we'll be sweet. But man, if we go into our shells again, then it's anyone's game, really.
Yeah. It'd be it'll be interesting to see what type of game plan we go with this week. I'm really hoping that even though we've had some big changes to the midfield in particular, that we don't change our game style, or that the inclusions that come in are able to just plug the hole in the playing list and just continue to play the way the team has over the last couple of weeks. That's probably my biggest concern. We are playing a weaker side. There's no doubt about that. And they've got some capable people on that list, but, realistically, we should win this, but just continue to play the same style of footy that you have over the last couple of weeks. If they don't do that with the injuries and the outs that we have, then I'm concerned. Not so much for this game, but more for the other games that are coming up, because we still have to win a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
And this week shows you as a system versus personnel, right? So if the system prevails, next man up, you need that continuity. So system over personnel. Hopefully, we continue playing the same way we are. It's probably only because it is West Coast. Like, have we earned the right to rest players? Are we in a position to be resting players? We're not in the top 8. We're not Port Adelaide or Collingwood last week when they thought, we can maybe manage a player or two. So for me, momentum and continuity is key. Like, look at Port last week, and again, they'll say there was soreness and whatnot, but, once you lose a few sort of key players, obviously look what happened, of course, in their instance as well. So we had a bye a few weeks ago. Like, players got a rest, 3 or 4 weeks ago. We played an elite level of sport. So, I just want the foot on the pedal to the final round. Continuity and momentum.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right, George. Absolutely. But this is, it's probably not a time to be running that test. As you said, we need to sort of win after win after win and keep the foot down. But it is that ultimate test to see if the system does prevail. And, the 2 biggest mids we've got at the moment is Cripps and Chera. They're both out. Paddy Dow, Akers. I like that Cowan and Hollands bring that run and that dare. They bring that sort of style that we've been sort of playing. So I think they'll sort of like for like come into the team and sort of bring that as well. But I think the biggest component in this for me is definitely Dow, 100%. It's his opportunity. But my guy Cotters and Blake Acres really need to put their hand up and own it. Really own it this week and say, we're cementing our position. We're going to step up. We're going to play a little bit more of an inside role and sort of do that rotation with, your Hollands and Walshes and even Doherty as well. So, yeah.
Well said, Moss. Because those 2 players and players like them on their level, this is a game for them where there's no Cripps, there's no Chera. Show us what you're made of. Step up. Show us that you're the depth. Show us that you're more than depth. So this is a big chance for a lot of guys. Even Paddy Dow, man. We've called out for him to get a run, mate. This is Not going to
following
get
week.
much of a better run than now.
Yep.
So, yeah, they really need to take their chances, I think.
He'll be pretty much the main man, right? Kerno and Hewitt will be blocking for him, and Akers and Walsh.
And
So
Walsh.
him and Walsh will have to accumulate. I just want to see, like Dow, sometimes I feel like his disposal can let him down where he maybe sells plays into a little bit of pressure. So I'd love to see him have a really clean game. There's a couple of moments versus Port, obviously where what wasn't up to, well, we were playing at an elite level, right? So we're holding him to a very high standard. So yeah, I really hope he can get a really good game, sneak in a goal. Love to see him have a good one. So
He got close.
Yeah.
He got close against Port.
Mm.
But yeah, one player that I'll be keeping a close eye on is Jesse Motlop. He had a fantastic game last week. The forward line combination of Motlop, Martin, Charlie Curnow, Lockie Fogarty, David Cunningham worked really, really well. And I wonder if they can just go into this game with that same sort of setup, because all eyes are going to be focusing on Charlie Curnow. A lot of their big name players are going to be trying to take him out of the game, but it's the big question mark will remain on whether Charlie Curnow can play the same game that he played against Port Adelaide and allow the small forwards to really come into the game. Now, again, Moose, you said it before, and Andy, you did too. This is the true test of system versus personnel. George, you said it too. I think it's been mentioned quite a few times tonight. It's a true test of system. So let's see how we go. But I'm very, very keen for Jesse Motlop to have another big game. That's my player to watch.
He just needs some consistency. I think we've all seen that. He's got the potential. He needs to bring it more often. We know what he's capable of as well. But he'll have a game or two where he's good, great, whatever you want to call it, and then he drops like dramatically. He just needs that consistency. If he can bring that 2 goals a game, it's all you need from him. I reckon it'll be good.
Yeah, but one thing that I noticed, it probably clicked for me against the Port Adelaide game. I think he's literally being told to follow around Charlie Curnow and just crumb wherever possible. Now, if you think back to sort
It's
of
not a bad thing to do.
No,
That's
absolutely
literally
not.
what a small forward's job is.
Absolutely not. But I think why he was found out of position so many times is because both Charlie Curnow and Harry Mackay, in an effort to get the ball moving for the Blues in the first half of the season, were caught so far up the ground. And, if Jesse Motlop's been told to follow them, well, that's why he's out of position as well. But, against Port Adelaide, Charlie Curnow was more or less just sitting in the forward line, sitting real deep, and that was enabling sort of your Motlops and your Martins to get first hands on the ball front and center, and then actually have a shot at goal, which was really, really good to see. So I want to see more of that this week.
The only thing I'm curious of, Amal, is does Charlie play a deep role, or does he become that Mackay and push up the ground? I'm just a little concerned that if he does play that role, I don't want to say it, but if he goes up and plays that role and starts getting into too many contests and really getting some run in his legs, is he going to be prone to a niggle or an injury?
Don't say it.
And where does that leave us? That's my only concern. I'm sorry to put it out there into the universe. I can retract it, but I'm going to leave it there for a minute. I'm going to let it sort of marinate. Or does De Koning or Silvani play that role further up? Because I've got a feeling they'll probably play a deeper role and Charlie will be pushed up. I don't know.
If anything happens to Charlie, I'm throwing you off level 2. You heard it here first. This is a confession.
No, I think, like I said, Charlie was sitting quite deep. Silvani was the man that was making runs up the ground. He was, going up into the defense, playing forward, playing in the ruck, and I think I really want to see just the same system implemented against West Coast. That's what I'm really hoping. That's what I want to see, irrespective of personnel, irrespective of who comes in. Just play the same way, play the same method, play the same football that you did over the last couple of weeks. That's all I want to see.
I think they will, though. I mean, it's been like that for 4 weeks. I don't think what reason why they're going to change it. Because Moose said,
"Oh no, Silvani pushed Curnow up a little bit. Silvani was playing the deeper role."
Well, that's what we had to do, as George said in the review. That's what we had to do. Charlie had to play up the ground to get Elia. Elias Squared, out of the defense, out of his defense and out of our forward line. So
Yeah.
is that going to be an issue against West Coast? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think
But,
that Jack will work his ass off. Jack Martin will probably play as a bit of a taller forward as well.
Yeah.
He's very good above his head. So I back us. I'm glad Voss doubled down on the system in the forward line. I'm glad he's backed it in. We saw that it worked last week against Sport. There's no reason it shouldn't work against West Coast. McGovern out. Barris. I think Tom Brown put out a tweet saying that he's not 100%. Oscar Allen had that shoulder injury as well, so they might lose a couple of key tools as well. But let's not even worry about them. Let's just do our
I'm
thing.
probably getting a bit ahead of myself here and sort of thinking past West Coast, just thinking sort of, the next game, which is against. Anyway, let's just leave that for the fun.
1 week at a time was
1 week at a time.
Yeah, I've just had a few of those supporters in my ear this week, so it's just been a bit.
They're the
Just
most
this week?
vocal, aren't they?
Just this week?
Especially this week.
Far out.
You reckon they're nervous?
100% they're nervous. Have they
I
watched the
reckon-
footy
I
the
reckon-
Carlton's played?
Yeah, I reckon they're like a little bit. I reckon they're getting their excuses ready. Oh, we
100%
beat
they are.
Port. It's all right. We're clear at the top. You guys aren't in the 8. They'll give us those ones.
100%.
Oh, Dylan Moore didn't take 10 intercept marks. Dogs.
Darcy Moore, the dud.
we do a lot for charity, this, that. They'll do a lot of those ones.
Yeah.
They are the
That's
charity.
what I was going to say.
1 week at a time, mate. I think it was the Marls video. Collingwood, we're coming for you. I think it sparked it off.
Yeah.
Set off a lot
I'm
of triggers
telling
in the Collingwood camp.
that guy that we mentioned, mate, he just
disappeared.
comments over and over. But it kills me. I love it.
I love it. Love it.
It's funny because the whole Collingwood base thought we were talking about them individually.
Yeah.
So they've all been jerried. It's hilarious.
It's like cooked they are.
Oh, anyway.
I love
Anyway.
fishing.
Samek.
Marvel Stadium, 2:10 p.m. Carlton goes up against the West Coast Eagles. Mus, I'll start with your prediction, your best on ground, and your leading goal scorer.
I think I'm going to go with it. I'm going to just say we win by 65 points. I'm going to keep that sort of figure. And look, last time we beat them by 108, but I think it was a different time in the year, and let's not even talk about that time of the year. Let's just go with 65 this week. I think they'll be a bit more competitive than what they've sort of made out to be. I think a few of our outs, a few of their inclusions as well. I don't know. It'll be a closer game, but we'll sort of keep it at arm's length the whole way through. We'll chip away. We'll probably get out to about 70, 80 points, I'm hoping, and then we'll sort of win by, 60, 65 points. I'm hoping Walsh just has a really good, solid game. Look, I'd love to say Dow BOG, but I just hope he gets a couple of good touches and he builds momentum and he sort of finds his feet a little bit. But I think Walsh will be BOG. And I think Martin will kick 5.
He could. Martin 1-on-1 in the forward line. I reckon he's very, very tough to beat. He's very smart. He's a very smart footballer.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was one contest he had 1-on-1. I think Kerno kicked it to
Got
him,
the free kick.
and he had the guy. He had the guy beat so early that he had all the time in the world just to throw his hands up and pluck the mark. It was brilliant. I love Jack Martin.
Yeah. No, he's got a really, really good footy brain, and he competes well above his height. The way he gets up and takes those marks, and a lot of them contested as well. So, good stuff. I reckon he'll kick 5.
Yeah, he actually could be a very good chance to do so as well. George.
As Mus said, 108-point win last time, obviously on their home turf, playing at Marvel, a lot of different personnel for both sides on the park. So I think if we play like we have done for the last 4 weeks, it's an obvious lock, I think, for me, like the maintaining the system. So at the same time, we still need to respect them. Respect them as an opponent, as a as an outfit. So it's like not take them lightly, because complacency is a killer, right? So just as we ended Port's streak, they could end theirs. You don't want to be that team. I don't want to be that guy that called it and then Andy promised to kick me out of the Monday Blues. Just get the win. I just want a win and no injuries. I think we'll win by 55 points. I think we'll maintain that little streak that we've got, a 50-point win, let's see, 50 to 60-point wins. I think, I think it'll be maybe a bit of a tight contest early, and we'll look at each other and get all nervous, but then I think we'll break away a little bit. I reckon it'll be like a 9-goal win. I'll back Doherty for BOG. I reckon he'll have a big one. Racking him up on the wing and in the middle. And I back Charlie, I reckon, to get 6 this week. So I reckon that he'll quietly enjoy the fact that he's the main man up there and say, put it straight down the middle to me, mate, straight down my throat. So it's going to be basically it's going to be a really, really interesting one to watch, because accuracy is going to be key. I think, getting on a good run early, that's going to make the difference, I think. So hopefully we're accurate, we take our chances and get the win and no injuries.
Carl.
Plus Carl?
I reckon our forward line pressure is going to be too much for them. I reckon our back line is going to be too much for them. I reckon just from the get-go, we're going to put the foot down. I reckon we'll beat them comfortably. I'm going to say 61 points. I reckon BOG for me is going to be Sam Walsh. He's going to run amok. And I reckon Charlie's going to get the bag this week. I reckon he's going to kick the 10 this time.
Ooh, that would be nice.
I reckon he's going to get it.
Andy.
Can we run onto the ground just cause, if he does?
Yeah, naked.
When was the last time someone kicked 10 in a game?
I thought you were going to say when was the last time someone on the ground naked.
Yeah.
Has someone done it a couple
Taylor
of months
Walker,
ago?
wasn't it? Taylor Walker.
Tex.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taylor.
Against them. Yeah, against them.
Just going back to Georgie, if West Coast win, will Curious George be the shortest serving segment in entertainment history? 1 week.
Right.
It lasted 1 week.
Gone.
No, I reckon we're going to pump them. I reckon 120. What, bro? It's at the G. We love the G.
It's a Marvel.
It's at Marvel, bro.
It's at Marvel. Okay, 140 points.
No, go to Marvel.
There's a roof. There's a
it's at the
roof.
G, bro.
No,
It's at the G.
honestly,
It's there.
I reckon we're just going to pump. Doesn't matter. We could be playing them in my backyard. I reckon we'll smash them by 120 points. Walshy's going to have a blinder.
What is a blinder?
Yep. I was waiting for it.
You had him
And I reckon I'm going to go Charlie to kick. You know what? I'm backing Carly. I reckon Charlie's kicking 10.
Nice.
Minimum. You know what? I'm going 12.
Ooh.
Yeah, 12 goals. Charlie Kerner, 12 goals. And Jack Martin's kicking 5.
Yeah. Thanks, cuz. Thanks for the support.
That's all right, cuz. And Jesse Motlop's kicking 4.
Hey, man, what about Silvani? What about Sauce?
Give him 1.
For a laugh.
Just
Yeah,
for a laugh, huh?
Just chuck it
just
in.
for the bands. Walsh is kicking 3, by the way.
Has he ever kicked multiple? He's kicked multiple a couple times, I think. But
Yeah, he'll kick 3. Dow
I miss
kick 2.
his little celebrations when he kicks them.
Hewitt's going to kick 1.
Voss will kick 2.
Even Kennedy's kicking one.
Apparently last
There's-
week. Yeah.
Ed
Good,
Kerno's
he's not even
that's a great one. Ed Kerno, play him as a key forward, mate. Just see what he can do. Just in probably the last game of his career or last home game of his career. Just
Well,
let
that's
him.
the thing. Like, we should
He'll
just
probably
get it
have a
out
couple
there.
of them too.
It might
Yeah.
be the last time we see Ed Kerno on a field. So
I reckon
you,
Ed will kick 3. I reckon he'll kick 3. Out of bounds on the full.
we almost went an episode without
Oh, jeez.
bullying Ed Kerno.
We love you, Ed.
Sorry, Ed.
Subtle.
I don't think it's going to be a 100-point victory as much as we need it. We could use the percentage boost. It is very, very tight where we are on the ladder. So it would be really, really nice to get the percentage boost. But I reckon it will be around the 80-point mark, purely because they've got some names. They've got some capable names on that list. So it won't be as easy as what it was across in Perth. Best on ground for me. I can't look past Walsh. He's just been building and building, and he's had a great back half of the season after coming off his back injury. I really want to see Curnow get the 10 that he missed out on, and I reckon if he kicks a bag this week against the West Coast Eagles, I think he's a lock for the Coleman. This is his chance. If he wants the Coleman again, this is his chance. I don't think Adelaide or Tex Walker is going to come up against any easy opponents in the run home. Curnow is every chance to secure the Coleman against the West Coast Eagles this week. So yeah,
Can I make a prediction?
do it.
Adam Simpson gets sacked on Tuesday.
You reckon
Watch
with all
it.
the injuries and everything like
Huge.
Yeah. I reckon we're going to embarrass him, bro. I reckon we're going to score close to 200 points.
that? Sydney got pretty close.
They did, didn't they?
Sydney did
They
crack
did.
200.
171
I reckon
points.
we'll get to 170,
Oh, man.
180.
Oh, Mo, are you talking about margin 200, mate? This guy got... No, Sydney cracked the 200,
Yeah,
didn't they?
they
Yeah,
did.
Sydney
No,
did.
margin.
Oh, margin. Oh, gee, now we're getting into,
No,
wet dreams
we
and
won't
stuff.
win by 200
Yeah.
points. No. We're going to
Keep
win.
30.
Look, we should win. I mean, look, we should win comfortably.
Should.
But again,
What?
Carlton,
What's a failure?
Smaller.
What's a failure against the Eagles?
An
Lose.
injury. An injury.
No.
yeah, an injury, we lose. We just want to come out of the game. Look, honestly, I'll take a 20-point win. We just need to keep winning. Our percentage is decent
Yeah.
thanks to the last month. So I just want to keep winning, man. Like, yeah, it'll be ugly just to win by a point or whatever, 20 points against
20,
West
yeah.
Coast. But, man, they took it right up to Richmond, and Richmond's in some decent form at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I don't think I could live with a 20-point
I
win.
was going to say anything less than a 40 to 50 point win, it's a failure on our system.
Okay, so what
Yeah.
happens next week when we play Collingwood and if we win?
It's failure.
Does that 20-point win?
No,
Like, is that still a
not saying
failure?
that. But if we were to win by 20 points against this West Coast outfit, our system hasn't worked. So I'd be really concerned going into Collingwood if our system hasn't worked and we've beaten a West Coast by 20 points.
Yeah, because then
What
it's
if
not
the system
it's
did
personnel.
work? But what if the system did work?
West Coast are
And
not
West
going to get
Coast
within
just-
20 points if we run our system properly and execute it.
They shouldn't.
What
Better
if
not
West
rock
Coast
up
uses
with
our system?
Windows. Better not rock up with Windows 95. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think a failure of anything less than a 10-goal win. I mean, we've beaten better sides by 10 goals in much tougher conditions than what we're coming up against the Eagles. So anything less than a 10-goal win I would say is probably not good enough for this outfit.
Have a look at us.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Call me cocky. Call me
6
whatever
weeks
you
ago,
want.
6
We just
weeks
want to
ago,
win.
we just wanted to hit a target. Don't worry about winning. Just go forward.
And we couldn't.
It's true. Geez, how the tables have tabled.
How the turntables. Shout out Michael Scott.
Oh, jeez. Well, gentlemen, I will see you all, or most of you. Carl, are you going to be there or not?
I don't think so, man.
Come on, man.
Boo.
I don't know, man. I'll see.
Disappointing,
I'll see.
Carl.
It is, I know.
everyone, jump in the comments. Get around Carl.
Yeah.
Just harassing.
Can we open a GoFundMe page or something? That way you can just you can quit, man. Just live off that.
But they're going to think I can't afford to go to the game. I remember.
Hey. Curious George will be around before the game this week again. So if you're coming to the game against the Eagles at Marvel Stadium, come and see us just on the corner of what building is it? The NAB building, I think it is. 700 Burke.
Come on, 700 Burke. So as you're coming down the station, turn right towards Docklands. We'll be around at Gate 4, just near Gate 4. So
come past, say hello. We'll have a few questions ready for you.
Harass you a bit.
see, now all the Collingwood fans that watch are just going to rock up and jump us.
Hey, I'm down. I'm fucking down. Come, you dogs.
Hey, should we bring baseball bats next week at the G? Or
Tasers.
I got a baseball bat for him. Tell you
pepper
what.
spray?
I reckon we'll sit on that high with parachutes.
And binoculars.
Oh, fuck.
On
Yeah,
that
not wrong. Yeah.
Anyway, gentlemen, let's see how much we can beat the Weagles by this week. I will see you all on Saturday at 2:10 p.m. at Marvel Stadium. Until then, it is sayonara from the Monday Blues. Thanks, gents.
Thanks, coach.
Up the baggers.
Ciao.
Sick in now.